Hey everybody, Mr. Aaron here with Mr. Ian, and it is March, his Lunch and Learn, and March is all about rhythm. We're going to learn about rhythm on all the instruments today, and so I'm going to teach Mr. Ian a little about a rhythm. Actually, I'm going to teach you guys about rhythm. He's just going to, learn right along with us. So first things first is every single instrument in the entire world has rhythm. So that's why we're starting with rhythm, and that's why we're starting with the drums here today. And so we're going to teach you the basics. Now, from there, this is where the technical aspect of instruments come from. This is where the note is actually being produced. That's what causes the rhythm. If I'm going to sing and I just, the rhythm didn't happen as I was holding the note out. It happened as soon as I started making that note and started going. And the nice thing about the drums, like I said, is it takes all that out of it, and all we're going to do is focus on rhythm. So first, I want to look at Mr. Ian's sticking technique, because like I said, without good technique, you are kind of fighting a losing battle just a little bit.
How's that?
So far, so good. So what I'm seeing that I really, really like, I think Jared probably taught you this, is see with his hands right here, he's hooking his finger like this, and the stick is laying right on top of there, and his thumb is right over the top, which gives you this kind of like wiggly sort of a thing with the stick. That's so you have the best bounce that you can. A lot of people, when they first start playing the drums, their instinct is to just grab things like we're going to grab things, and so you end up holding it kind of like a baseball bat. And if you could probably already tell the difference in my hitting. One was nice and fluid, and one was kind of like a toy monkey, just kind of doing its thing, right? And I look even clunkier too, because I eliminated all the bounce. So let's just hit some stuff, Ian. Nice. Ooh. Oh, look at you doing some fancy rhythms. Nice, and so another thing that I'm noticing that I'm really, really liking is we can skip some of the processes along here, is his sticks are coming straight up. So he has a nice, good bounce with it. He isn't trying to stop and go down with it. That's another instinct that people have the first time they pick up a drum. This is also why we're using the practice pad, so we can actually just really, really hone in on these techniques. So we want this nice, good bounce coming up, coming down. Now this is what's called a full stroke, which means as you hit it, it bounces all the way up. Now, in drumming, we have another kind called tapping. What do you think tapping is, Mr. Ian?
Ooh, I don't know. What's tapping, Mr. Aaron?
It's when you tap.
Okay.
So instead of coming to a full direct up like this, we're gonna just tap our sticks a little bit. And so we still want to have that nice, very good. We still want to have that nice bounce. Now, as I just noticed, Mr. Ian was putting a little bit too much downward pressure, which is why he was getting that buzz sound. He still had really good technique. He was just having a lot of pressure. He was trying to like almost keep it going down. You want it to be nice and light still. It's just a nice little bounce, exactly like that. Perfect. Now, a lot of grooves in drumming comes from just hard hits versus soft hits. So if we have just like if I take all the dynamics out of that, I'm just doing a straight, just moving it, moving it, moving it. It was those hard and softs that really made all the difference on that. So what that means as far as drumming is concerned is we can boil this all down to basically a handful of different rhythms and just kind of combine them all. So I want to start walking through some of those. Right here, we have quarter notes. Now, what this means is, see how there are 4 of them right here? In most music, we have 4 beats on a measure, which means our drums is going to keep time for all of our other instruments and let them know when they're going to change things. And most often, we change things in groups of 4. Not 100% of the time, but a good portion of the time. So this is our beat. So if you ever hear musicians do the count-in thing, especially the drummers, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's why they're counting to 4. This is where our rhythm all begins from. So we're just going to hit some quarter notes right now. Want to hit some quarter notes with me, Ian?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to count the pace, and then we're going to hit right at that pace. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Mr. Ian's hitting it at the exact pace I am. This is kind of like a drum line would do. We can go quieter, and then we're going to practice tapping a little bit. And the big thing we're doing here right now is we're keeping this nice and steady. We're not going all over the board. We're not suddenly going really, really fast and then really, really slow. Nice and steady. Steady wins the race. All right. Now, that was our 1, 2, 3, 4 count. Now, we can have notes that go in between those two. Those are called eighth notes. Got this one right here. All the people watching out that way. So, now see how we still have groups of 4 right here, but each one of those groups of 4 has 2 dots right here. So basically, all that means is we're going to go twice as fast. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's give that a shot, Mr. Ian. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and now let's do quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and back to eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and ready and stop. Nice, very good, very good. Now, what I've noticed in all my years teaching drums is if someone's having a trouble on the drum set, usually it's finding that beat. So the number one thing I do is I bring out the practice pad and I put on a metronome and we work just going back and forth between those quarter notes and those eighth notes. And once you develop that sense of feel, everything else comes just much, much, much easier. Now, I wouldn't recommend very, very, very beginners try this, but we're gonna go through it because why not? We have eighth notes, which means we can double it up again, and we have 16th notes. So you can see right here we have 4 little dots in our groups of 4. So we're making things even faster now. Now we count these ones 1, E, and A. So we still have our 1, and, 2, and we still have our 1, 2, 3. They're all in there. We just keep breaking it down more and more and more and more. One thing I use that helps people remember how to do this rhythm is the word alligator, actually. For whatever reason, like one-handed, just like it rolls off my tongue because I've been doing it forever, but brand new people, for whatever reason, I've noticed the word alligator really, really helps. So if that helps you, we're gonna try this right now. We're not gonna go quite as fast as we were, because these are really, really fast notes, but let's try it. We got a 1, 2, ready, go. Alligator, 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 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... Now let's do some eighth notes and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now let's do the quarter notes and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a back to the 16th notes and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a ready and a stop. Very good. Now the reason I was counting the 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 even when we were doing quarter notes was because that was the lowest rhythm that we're going to play and I knew I was going to come back to it. And if I didn't count like that, when I come back to it, I might not hit the mark quite where I was trying to hit it. So that is the exercises I recommend trying for all of you at home. I'm going to give you some workable examples back here on the drum set just so you have a demonstration, because I know when you're looking at the practice pad it's like, well, that's great, that's wonderful, but how do I play the drums with this information? How does that turn into music? So I'm going to show you right now. Over here on the drum kit now, and I want to give you guys some workable examples. So using our quarter notes, I'm going to hit my kick drum and then I'm going to hit my snare drum right here, and this is going to be the basis of all drumming. We're basically just metronomes. We're just keeping the tempo. So it all just starts with our 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I want to, I can add this over on the hi-hat, and I'm going to change rhythms on my hi-hat first to quarter notes, then I'm going to go to eighth notes, and then I'm going to move it to 16th notes, and I want you all to hear just the difference that makes when the only thing that changes is what I'm doing right here. So we got our quarter notes first, and we got our 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the eighth notes now. 16th notes. And so you can see that I created very, very different rhythm, all just by changing what was happening over here. And like I was talking about in the very, very, very beginning of this video about those hard and soft hits, those were also happening on the hi-hat, creating that groove coming in between all of that stuff. So I hope you guys found this video educational, fulfilling. I hope you got whatever you needed to get out of this rhythm section for our drums. And if you don't play the drums, I hope maybe you can apply this to your instrument too, because I know I've taken a lot of this stuff and used it on the guitar myself. It's great exercises. You just got to take it and apply it to your instrument. Anyways, so if you like this video, make sure you actually like it on our page here and share it with all of your friends, and maybe leave a comment and tell us what you want to learn next. See you beautiful people next time.